A very thoughtful welcome to one and all. I am back to propel the session with the next event. I would call it as the heart of the seminar.
Professor D. Ashok sir has 33 years of postgraduate teaching and 40 years of green chemistry, medicinal chemistry and papers in peer-reviewed national and international journals. He has delivered lectures in several national and international conferences. He has organized 3 national and 1. He is reviewer for reputed national and international journals such as BNCL, Green Chemistry Letters and Reviews, Medicinal Chemistry Research, Current Medicinal Chemistry, etc. His research activities are supported by the funding agencies like CSIR, UGC and EST. He has completed 3 UGC and 2 DST research projects. Under his guidance, 37 students pursued their PhD degrees and 6 students pursued their MPhil degrees. He is leading a team of over 10 students for PhD and PDF program. He has trained several young students in the art of organic green synthesis and intern working at prestigious research and development laboratories in India and abroad. He served as registrar for Telangana University and while working in Usmania University, he served as Director Research Development and Consultancy, Director Directorate of Admissions, Joint Director Academic Audit, Additional Controller of Examinations and Chairman Board of Studies for Forensic Sciences. And he served as Chairman Board of Studies for Mahatma Gandhi University. He is Vice President of Indian Council of Chemists twice. He has Sectional Committee member for Indian Science Congress and Fellow of Telangana Academy of Sciences. We are very honored to have you here, sir. I welcome you onto the dais to deliver your lecture and I humbly request Professor Tirmalachari sir to station the chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your encouragement to me to deliver a lecture to many young chemists from Residential Degree College of Telangana. At the outset, I thank the organizers for organizing an excellent lecture, excellent conference at the Residential Degree College level. I personally thank Dr. Nirupama for inviting me to deliver an invited talk before young chemists. My special thanks to all the faculty members, participants for your interest towards the conference, towards learning chemistry subject from different speakers. Just now we heard about eminent scientists, faculty members in inaugural session. It is very difficult to meet DST secretary, but you would be able to meet easily here. You took pics from DST secretary. All these are possible because of the conference. Therefore, I congratulate all the organizers, especially Secretary Mr. Pranabras, Principal Nirupama, and my own student, and all the faculty members, students, and the speakers. The topic which I have chosen to interact with you, to discuss with you, is green synthesis of diverse heterocyte library as potential pharmaceutical agents. In these two aspects I am going to discuss. One is about heterocyte chemistry, another is about green synthesis. Both you are studying at your BS level, and both are very, very important, and your conference title is very much close to this. Therefore, I thought of discussing about heterocycle compounds and the green chemistry. Heterocycle compounds display a wide variety of biological properties. Many of them can be exploited for medicinal purposes and are essential for human life. Everybody using drugs for different diseases, which are mainly made up of heterocyclic compounds. Therefore, we can say that heterocyclic compounds for better life. Whatever the better life which we are leading, mainly because of development in heterocyclic chemistry. Majority of the drugs are heterocyclic compounds. We take penicillin, which is heterocyclic compound, Taxol, heterocyclic compound. Like this, many heterocyclic compounds are drugs, and they are relevant targets for drug design. For example, quinine, used for the treatment of malaria. For the past 400 years, we are using this drug for the treatment of malaria, which is a heterocyclic compound. Penicillin G. Irinotecan, used to cure cancer, which is also heterocyclic compound. Warfarin, anticoagulant, well-known drug, very useful drug, broad-spectrum drug. Warfarin is also a heterocyclic compound. Novacin, which is a heterocyclic compound, antibiotic. Now today, lifespan of people has been increased because of availability of potential drugs which are made up of heterocyclic compounds. Therefore, we can say that heterocyclic compounds are highly useful for human well-being. Therefore, the synthesis of heterocyclic compounds is essential. Because we need drugs in large quantities, therefore, if you know synthesis of heterocyclic compounds, and we can able to synthesize the drugs easily, we can able to manufacture drugs easily. Therefore, synthesis of heterocyclic compounds is an important research topic and important component of chemistry. Then another part is the green chemistry or green synthesis. Why do we need green chemistry? Why do we need green synthesis? Because already synthesis is there. Why green synthesis is required? We have to know. Just now I mentioned the drugs are very, very useful, and lifespan of people has been increased because of the modern drugs. Because of development in heterocyclic chemistry, we have so many drugs. Like this, there is a lot of development because of development in organic chemistry, development in heterocyclic chemistry, which is a constructive development, highly useful development. But at the same time, we have destructive development also. We are suffering from some destructive development also. That is what we have to know. That is nothing but environmental pollution. The contamination of the environment with the harmful substances is called as pollution. The people are suffering from pollution. Worldwide, the people are suffering from pollution. Every village, every town, every city, every country, every continent is suffering from pollution today. Therefore, it is very, very essential to know how to eradicate pollution, how to control the pollution, and which is mainly of three types: air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. What is air pollution? Contamination of air with US is called as air pollution. And you know, in Delhi and in many cities of India, there is a lot of air pollution. If you walk on roads in cities, we come across a lot of pollution. And by this polluted air, human health will be affected, animals, plants will also be affected. For example, see, from industries, they are getting a lot of air pollution. Next. Next.
bro.
Like this. And then another is water pollution. Water pollution also plays an important role. The contamination of water with undesirable substances, which make it unfit for usage, unfit for drinking, called as water pollution. Next. Water pollution caused by chemical industries. No doubt there are very strong rules, strict rules, but still industries polluting the water, industrial waste and effluents discharging in rivers, different places, polluting the environment. Next. 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 Effects of pollution, water pollution. We get diseases like malaria, typhoid, etc. Aquatic life gets destroyed. That means fish and other animals polluted water very much affected. And see, when what we find, about 10% of the deaths worldwide are due to water pollution. Therefore, it is high time to control water pollution. Then another is land pollution. Industrial waste is poured on the ground, by which the ground will be very much affected. These are the subjects of pollution. Like this, some of the industries, in spite of strict rules, in spite of the strong rules, polluting the environment, by which air is polluted, water is polluted, and the land is polluted. Most of the health hazards of the people and animals, why you are polluting the environment? When you have accepted that you are polluting the environment, and why mainly because next. And the important point is, as you accepted, you have frankly accepted, you have rightly accepted that you are polluting the environment. It is true. How? The teachers and students are following the same order of procedures for doing their practicals. Next. Right? Many of these experiments, whatever the practicals which you are doing at your laboratories at BS level and MS level, many of these experiments involve toxic chemicals, highly harmful chemicals. You are not supposed to smell these chemicals, but in experiments, these are involved. You are using benzene solvent, you are using carbon tetrachloride in physical chemistry practicals, right? Therefore, which are not at all safe to human health. Next. Here I take you an example. Let me from this time. For this preparation, in most of the degree colleges and PG colleges, the students are teachers. Yes or no? Yes. There you are using bromine, which is highly carcinogenic. If you inhale bromine for 5 minutes, 5 days of your lifespan will be decreased. But only thing is, it is after some time, therefore you are not worried, but still you are using bromine. Right? After some time, I will tell what are the alternative processes, what are the green processes, what are the non-polluting processes for these which we are supposed to adopt. Right? If the same situation for oxygen purpose. Right? And anybody has purchased water? No. Right? Long back or previously, our ancestors used only well water or river water. Right? But now, almost every family, not only in cities, but also in towns and villages, environment. We may have to carry plant back of us for oxygen purpose. Even now, in Hyderabad city, oxygen zones are there. People are paying and going to oxygen zone, inhaling the oxygen and coming back. That means even already it is started. Already people are purchasing oxygen. Right? But if same situation continues for some more years, definitely you may have to carry the plant back of you to go to college or school or office. Right? Therefore, this is the fourth situation. You are not able to protect the environment, at least you do not protect the environment. But just now you are accepted that you are polluting the environment. Try to not polluting the reactions. Therefore, my appeal to all of you is be a part of the solution, not the pollution. Be a part of the solution, but not the pollution. Not local problem. It is not problem of Hyderabad. Worldwide, every village, every town, every city, every state, every country, every continent suffering from pollution. Therefore, it is global problem and it is global concern. And understanding the responsibility of chemists, the chemists which are sustainable growth. And therefore, people are trying to control pollution, use of green synthesis. Right? These are normal synthesis. You have to use green synthesis. What is green synthesis? Environmentally benign chemical synthesis is called as green synthesis. Therefore, my appeal to all of you is, especially young students here, is try to use green synthesis instead of conventional synthesis. Why? Because green synthesis looks at prevention of pollution, because our interest is about the prevention of pollution, and it is extremely important area of chemistry. Therefore, you should try for prevention of pollution. It is great contribution to the society, great help to the society. Next. Therefore, green synthesis is for what? It is for cleaner environment. Clean environment. If environment is clean, you will be, the point you have to do is, you have to follow green chemistry. By following green synthesis, you have to know what is green chemistry. Green chemistry is implementation of set of principles that reduces or eliminates use or generation of substances hazardous to health and the environment. Therefore, in design and in manufacturing and application of chemical products. And therefore, my appeal to all of you is try to apply green chemistry, try to do green synthesis wherever you want. Based on the work carried by all dear masters, father of green chemistry, 12 basic principles have been framed. By following those principles, if you can carry out the synthesis, it is called as green synthesis, and it is the green chemistry. These are the 12 principles. Next. Prevention of waste, art of economy, less hazardous chemical synthesis, design safer chemicals, safer solvents and auxiliaries, design for energy efficiency, use renewable feedstock, reduce derivatives, catalysis, design for degradation, real-time analysis for pollution prevention, energy safer chemistry for accident prevention. And all the masters carried out a lot of research on new chemistry and framed 12 principles. Worldwide, people are following these principles. By following these principles, if you can synthesize some chemicals, petrochemical compounds, drugs, etc., it is the green synthesis. foreign people, our Indian people also involved in green synthesis. Professor R.S. Verma, NRI, also carried out a lot of research in environmentally balanced synthesis, green synthesis, and which is very useful. And there are many advantages are there in the green synthesis, and we will discuss briefly some of the principles, right, which are very much required for you, which are very much useful to you at BS level or at MS level. Therefore, we will discuss some of the examples by which you can be able to understand the next. One is the prevention of waste. This is one important aspect in controlling pollution. Whenever you carry the reaction, say a substrate reacting with a reagent by which product is formed, this byproduct is also formed. The desired one is product, and sometimes the undesired product waste is also produced by product. Right? In laboratory, you handle small quantities. Therefore, small quantities of byproduct is obtained by crystallization. You are going to remove their extract. But in industries, the drugs are manufactured in large quantities, where byproducts are also produced in large quantities. Then large quantities of byproduct is produced. What to do? Large quantities of waste is produced. What to do? And if waste is disposed in atmosphere, or river, or sea, land, adds to pollution. If you add sugar, river is polluted, or sea is polluted, aquatic life is affected. If you release in air is polluted, right? But because the drugs are synthesized and manufactured in tons, therefore byproducts waste is also produced in large quantities in tons. Then what to do? How to? Where we have to protect? How to protect the environment from this waste is important. For disposing the waste or for treatment in the waste, either we have to treat to non-pollutant, or we have to dispose of the United States of America spending lot of money, lot of amount for disposal of waste or treatment of waste. This is approximately 120 crores per hour. In 1 hour time, United States of America industries are spending so much. That means approximately 2 crores per minute. In 1 hour time, they are spending 2 crores for just for what? Not for the synthesis of drugs. It is for disposal of the waste produced during manufacture of drugs. Right? Therefore, they are spending a lot of money, lot of amount. But what they will do? The cost involved in the treatment and disposal of waste adds to the overall production of the cost. Because of this, now drugs are costly. Right? The drugs are costed, for example, tablets today, 20 rupees per tablet, 30 rupees per tablet, 100 rupees per tablet also there. Because of this type of expenditure, additionally added to the cost of the drug. Then what is the remedy? Remedy is important. Right? Because lot of waste is produced, for the treatment, lot of expenditure is required. For disposal, lot of expenditure is required. But then how to control? But we have to manufacture the drugs in large quantities. That is helpless. But if you manufacture, then you are going to get lot of waste. Then what is the remedy? Remedy we already know. Prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. As prevention is better than cure, therefore what you have to do is, you have to plan for the synthesis of drugs such a way that initial waste is not produced or minimum waste is produced. Therefore carry out synthesis in formation of waste or minimum. What is atom economy? By atom economy, we can stop production of waste. What atom economy says that the maximum intervention of the atoms of reactant and reactant in the formation of final product is called as atom economy. If all the atoms and the groups of static materials, that is substrate, reagent, present in the final product, desired product, expected product, then wastage question does not arise. Wastage is not formed. Therefore, such type of reactions are required. Such type of reactions you have to perform. By using such type of reactions, you have to produce drugs. Right, by which waste is not formed. When waste is not formed, the disposal process does not arise. When waste is not formed, the treatment process does not arise. For example, these are reaction is an example for 100% economic reaction. 1,3-butadiene reaction with ethylene gives cyclohexene. Here, all the atoms of 1,3-butadiene, all the atoms of ethylene are present in the product, that is cyclohexene. Therefore, here not even product is formed. No byproduct, no waste, no disposal, no treatment. Right? Therefore, right, we have to carry out such a reaction in which waste is not formed. Therefore, here, percentage atom economy and market rate of starting materials is 82, product is also 82, 100% atom economy. Such reactions we have done. For example, second one, tertiary bromide objects with oxide gives isometry plus ethyl alcohol sodium bromide. Here, starting materials and products, if you see, right, isometry is formed, physics, and starting materials 204. Percentage of, here I would like to give one example. Cyclization of salt. Here, flavanone. See in this, whatever the atoms present in starting material chalcone are present in the product of flavanone. Therefore, no byproduct, no wastage, no treatment, no disposal, 100% atom economy reaction. This type of reactions we have to carry out. It is possible to synthesize some drugs by using this type of reactions. Therefore, 100% atom economy is very, very important. This is another example. Next. Right? 100% atom economy reaction. Right? Whatever these atoms, groups present in starting materials, also present in the product. Therefore, 100% atom economy reaction. Therefore, no byproducts, no wastage, no treatment, no disposal. Therefore, it is easy. No explanation. Then, another principle of green chemistry is less hazardous chemical synthesis. Whenever you plan for the synthesis of a drug or related compounds or important compounds, right? What are the steps involved in overall project? It is extremely hazardous to human health. It was principal toxicant involved in Bhopal tragedy happened long back, I think in 1984. Right? Therefore, here important point is here methyl isocyanate is a poisonous gas. Next. Union carbide industry, very well-known industry, right? Produces so many important compounds. Right? During the production of important chemicals, right? The MIC is involved. MIC was used or MIC was released. Right? Right? Then there are so many strict rules. There are so many controls, but sometimes what happens is controls may fail. The MIC involved in the synthesis of important compounds in union carbide during night of 2nd and 3rd December 1984, during midnight time, methyl isocyanate poisonous gas was leaked from Union Carbide. Then what happened? See, when methyl isocyanate poisonous gas was leaked, people were running. See, so many people died within no time, within few hours. So many people died. So many animals died by inhaling the poisonous methyl isocyanate gas released from Union Carbide industry, by which air was polluted, and by which many people died. And we talk about terrorists. The terrorists kill the people. But this is right, many times bigger than terrorists. And methyl isocyanate within no time killed lakhs of people. Within few hours killed lakhs of people. Next time. Even today, some of the people who partially inhaled methyl isocyanate suffering from chronic disease. Right? Therefore, here what you have to understand is just because of leakage of MAC methyl isocyanate, so many people died. See the effect. Because more hazardous chemical was involved in the manufacture of important compounds by Union Carbide, so many people died in Bhopal. Like this worldwide, there are so many examples. There are so many cases. There are so many this type of examples. Therefore, with a slight mistake, of course, they tried to control. But in spite of the control, because sometimes controls may fail. Right? Therefore, my appeal to all of you is, it is better to develop such a synthetic route in which no hazardous substances are produced, no hazardous substances are involved. And because the reason for this is the controls may fail. Less hazardous chemicals must be involved, less hazardous chemical products must be formed. Then the answer is that we are habituated to use solvents to perform reactions. We will use different organic solvents to carry out different organic reactions. Even in laboratory, you are doing so many experiments by using different solvents. And for example, using benzene, right? Carbon tetrachloride, I think available in your laboratory, right? They are highly carcinogenic. Right? If you continuously inhale benzene, definitely after some time people may get cancer. In most of the foreign universities, they won't use benzene solvent. Even if they require in small quantities, they store benzene 1 or 2 kilometers away from the laboratory. Why? Because benzene is highly carcinogenic, highly dangerous chemical. Right? No doubt, it is useful to synthesize many of the compounds by reactions, but it is highly carcinogenic. If you inhale benzene, right, people may get cancer. But in Indian laboratories, I have seen some of the students, some of the lab assistants, teachers, after performing the experiment, they wash their hands with benzene. They wash hands with benzene, which is highly dangerous. If you wash one time, at least 5 years of your life will be decreased. Such a highly carcinogenic chemical. Even carbon tetrachloride, using carbon tetrachloride, physical chemistry practicals are there. I think I don't know whether is there or not there. Are you using carbon tetrachloride for physical chemistry practicals? Teachers should tell you. Right? Therefore, like this, they are highly carcinogenic. Then what I would say is, instead of using carcinogenic organic solvent, harmful solvent, carcinogen solvent. Question does not arise. Right? But question is, does an organic reaction proceed without solvent? Excellent. Is it possible to carry out organic reactions without using any solvent? Yes or no? Is it possible to carry out organic reactions without using any solvent? Yes or no? No. Good. Right? Aristotle also said same thing. What you said? No reaction proceeds without solvent by Aristotle. Right? He also said same thing. But Aristotle said in 300 BC, long back. But Adolf von Bayer carried out the synthesis of indigo without using any solvent by solvent-free reaction in 1905, more than 100 years back. Right? He has proved that it is possible to synthesize organic compounds without using any solvent, for which he was awarded with the Nobel Prize in 1905. And therefore, with this what I can say is, best solvent is no solvent. Best solvent is no solvent. Without using solvent, it is possible to carry out reaction. Therefore, my appeal to all of you is, whenever you want to perform organic reactions in your laboratory, try to perform without using solvent. Definitely you are going to get. But we are habituated to use solvents, especially organic solvents, therefore we are using. This time onwards, right? Try to use, I will give you some details, I will give you the name of the monograph also, by which you will be able to perform the organic reactions without using any solvent. Therefore, best solvent is no solvent. That is means carry out organic solvent-free organic synthesis, organic reactions, which are very efficient, economic, because no need to solve, purchase solvent. 1 liter of solvent is about 1,000 rupees. If you don't use any solvent, then you can save money and environmental benefit, and especially in academic laboratories, by using solvent. After performing the reaction, what they do is they simply evaporate the solvent. If when they evaporate, what happens? It will mix into the air. That we are breathing air. By the time our health is affected. Right? Therefore, we are spoiling our health by doing such type of old, the same old procedures. Next. Then another one is reason for energy efficiency is also an important leading principle. We are habituated to use conventional heating by Bunsen burner or by oil bath and heating man. Like this we do, right? But my appeal to all of you is, in this process, unnecessarily we are going to heat. For example, to perform a reaction, generally what we do is, in an RB flask, we will take some solvent and we add reagent and reactant. We will put it in oil bath or mantle. Then we heat it. Then first heat is supplied to bath, oil bath. Then heat is supplied, transferred to oil projected. Then from oil heat is transferred to RB flask. From RB flask heat is transferred to solvent. Then from solvent heat is transferred to reagent and reactant to undergo reaction. After completion of the reaction, simply all this are cool. Then here unnecessarily we are heating oil bath, oil, solvent, etc. Therefore, solvent apparatus heated up and cool it down. Therefore, double energy penalty without any apparent benefit. Required is less. For reactant reagent required is less. But we are using lot for the heating of apparatus, heating of the solvent, etc. Next. Then alternative energy sources are instead of conventional heating, instead of Bunsen heating, oil bath heating, mantle heating, you can use multiple heating, ultrasonic heating, sunlight heating. continuously heating the reaction mixture for many hours. Better to use microwave method, carry out reaction in microwave oven, then easily reaction is performed. Next. And there are many advantages if you perform reaction under microwave radiation method. That easy to work out, economic, high yields, effective, eco-friendly, selective, fast, high purity products are updated, and overall the eco-friendly is very important. Next. Right? Then you may ask that why in microwave method the reactions are very fast and the yields are low and the workup is easy, time required is less, etc. You can ask. The difference is in conventional heating, right? Just now I said, first heat is transferred to the bath, then oil, then flask, then solvent, then only it is supplied to the reagent that reactant. But under microwave radiation, directly microwave radiation falls on reaction mixture. At the time radiation is supplied, energy is supplied to reaction mixture, therefore it is homogeneous mixture. If it is through heat transfer, first for the water reagents only affected more than under conversion method. But here directly microwave radiation falls on reaction mixture, therefore at the time reaction is completed, homogeneous heating will be there. So I just want to show how homogeneous heating is the effective next. Now see, in two test tubes reaction is performed. Originally reaction mixture is in blue color. See the right side. In case of right side alpha reaction, only the borders converted into brown color. The main product is formed. But the middle heat is not transferred. Therefore, still in case of right side alpha reaction, only the borders converted into brown color. The main product is formed. But the middle heat is not transferred. Therefore, still transferred to the reaction mixture completed time, it falls upon in first one more brown color. In second one, only borders more brown, middle still blue. Blue means unreactivity. Therefore, in first one yield is more. In first one reaction is very fast. Workup is easy. Right? Like this, it is easy to perform. Next. One important point is, genetically if I tell anything has no importance. It is valid or not valid also, or you need not believe, and we can proceed. Therefore, whether it is correct or not, we'll see some experimental examples. Alright? Then you can believe really it is worth performing or not. For example, here, the Claisen-Schmidt reaction is carried out between aromatic ketone and aromatic aldehyde, cross-Dalton condensation by which the chalcone product is formed. Normally, under conversion method, oil bath method, or by other methods, right? Hours together we have to perform the reaction. At least overnight we have to put it. But here, under microwave radiation, in 5 minutes time the reaction is complete. See the difference? Instead of overnight, the conversion method, but here in 5 minutes time, reaction is complete. Another example is another reaction. Under microwave radiation, in 15 seconds, with 100% yield, product is formed. Now see the difference. But is it possible to carry out the reaction under conversion method in 15 seconds? No, highly possible. But here, under microwave radiation method, in 15 seconds, the reaction is completed. Next. This is another reaction, an ultrasound reaction. Ultrasound waves are used instead of microwave radiation. In 10 minutes time, with 100% yield, the reaction is performed and the reaction is performed. Next. This is an important example. This sort of reaction, product formation. This preparation is there in university 3 years in most of the universities. There, people are taking 3 hours time to perform the reaction under conventional method. That is, they are wasting one practical class of the session to instead of 3 hours. And he still yields 80% yield is obtained. Very good yield. Right? Therefore, yields are better. Time required is less under manual irradiation. Like this, there are so many examples. Right? Here, another example. Next slide. And this is millions of synthesis carried out using manual irradiation in 1 minute time with 88% energy. All these are experimentally observed results, right? Not theoretical results, right? But under conventional method, lot of time is required to perform this Williamson synthesis. Just now, I discussed about this. In most of the colleges and universities, even today, performing the preparation of para-bromine estrone or bromination of estrone light by using liquid bromine, which is highly harmful, highly carcinogenic. We are not supposed to inhale the bromine. If you inhale bromine, definitely your lifespan will be increased. Right? Therefore, because it is a non-component reaction and it is highly carcinogenic. The alternate method is green synthesis. The same reaction can be performed by using steric ammonium nitrate, CaN, potassium bromide, water, ethanol. Water, green solvent, ethanol, green solvent, and all green reagents are used. No carcinogenic bromine. And same estrone light is converted to para-bromine estrone light. With this, what I can say is there are some methods, green methods available. Therefore, by following such methods, if you can perform, then you can able to control the environmental pollution. Therefore, here no need to use corrosive bromine, and it is a chromatic reaction. And in water, if you perform the reaction, then there is no problem. No pollution. Next slide, please. Right? These are some of the reactions. The first one is carried out by reflux. Second one is carried out just by grinding. Here, one more important example I would like to mention. Whatever the reactions which you are doing by heating, by using solvent, the same reactions you can try without using any solvent, just by grinding. By grinding also reactions are performed. See this reaction, butanol, ferrichloride, just a drop of water is added, and by grinding at room temperature, the product is formed. Right? Like this, it is possible to carry out the reactions without using any solvent, without using any heating. Right? Simply by grinding also, it is possible to perform reaction. Right? This is another example. The preparation of this coumarin. 7-hydroxychloromethyl coumarin is there in this previous preparation, for which even today in most of the universities and colleges using either restricted concentrated sulfuric acid. Concentrated sulfuric acid is also highly dangerous. We are not supposed to use concentrated sulfuric acid. But alternative method is the same reaction you can perform by using cake and clay, which is cheaply available. Right? Very, very cheap clay you can use instead of sulfuric acid. The cake and clay also acts as acid by which the reaction is performed. Therefore, here corrosive concentrated sulfuric acid is not used. Right? And simply by using cake and clay, green catalyst, we can perform the reaction. Right? Next. And here I would like to mention Department of Science and Technology, DST, appointed a task force consisting of various scientists and professors. The assignment given was how to perform BSc, MSc practicals by using green processes, green synthesis. They carried out a lot of reactions, carried out a lot of research, and which is available in internet, Google, that is green synthesis of organic compounds by DST task force. If you search for this book, monograph, which is freely available, in that all the processes are there. For parabrahma is standard, for the preparation of different organic compounds, whatever you come across at DS level, whatever you come across at DS level, for all processes with the experimental procedures, quantities, everything, total, how to work out, how to carry out the reaction, everything is available. Right? Green chemistry practicals written by PhD task force. Then you may ask that you have carried out some reactions in your research, whether you have performed reaction by using green synthesis. Right? We also carried out some reactions in synthesis. Here, my own student is there, Dr. Vijaya, please stand up. As well as my own student, she performed many green synthesis reactions in our laboratory, gave very good number of us. Now, briefly I will use some examples. I think 2 minutes time is there, right? Because you may be hungry. If you are hungry, you may be angry on me. Therefore, before you are angry on me, then I will wait up. There are few examples. Therefore, you see, you have taken the charcoal and treated with the EMS micro radiation, the product is formed. Here, no byproduct, 100% is under the color reaction, green reaction, right? And like this, we have performed the reaction next. And by using H4 in single part, one part reaction, right? Generally, in 2 steps it is carried out, but in 1 part the reaction is performed under microwave radiation. Next. And we have prepared some discoveries under microwave radiation, right? And carried out from antidependent activity also. Next. And by using microwave radiation, we have prepared this fluorochrominance. Next. And we have prepared ROs. ROs are very rare type of compounds, many are not known. But we have prepared such type of compounds by using microwave radiation. Next. And benzodiazepines we have performed. Next. And some spiral compounds which are highly anti-cancer properties containing compounds we have performed and by under microwave radiation. Others are very rare type of compounds, many are not known, but we have prepared such type of compounds by using microwave radiation. Next. And benzodiazepines we have performed. Next. And some spiral compounds which are highly anti-cancer properties containing compounds we have performed and by under microwave radiation. Next. And we have carried out some enclosing metathesis reactions, and we have prepared some bis heterocyclic compounds, right? Because here the Gauss catalyst was used for generation catalyst, second generation catalyst, and this catalyst is very useful catalyst, right? Robert Grubbs got Nobel Prize just for preparing this catalyst because it is highly useful catalyst. Wide applications are there. Making use of such applications, performed this reaction. Right, these are some of the examples. How many of you entered into this building? Please raise your hands. Not many. Not many. To visit Arts College of School University, which is more than 100 years, and to organizers, especially Dr. Nilpam, principal, and thanks to Secretary Ross, and I am thanking because you have provided me an opportunity to interact with different chemists, scientists, and young chemists, research scholars, etc. And my special thanks to all the participants and especially necessary activities. Thank you, one and all. If you have any questions, most welcome. Many of students who did visit to Arts College of Uspania University are very important. Thank you so much.
I would like to inform you all delegates. Same moderation, same frequency, even if one student is I just recollected my research days when I was doing a PhD. If any organic chemicals are stick onto my hand, I used to work with either petroleum ether or acetone. Yeah. It was the ignorance. At the time we were not aware that these are so much costly. They are very economical. And in today's lecture, Dr. Ashok has given tons of information to you. Let us all thank Ashok I request all the principals of the degree colleges here to follow the new procedures for the preparation for organic compounds. What the information has given by Dr. Ashok about the monograph given by DSC. I thank the organizers for giving this opportunity to take the session. And it is an honor to me to take the session of Dr. Ashok. And in the last 2 months, it is second time for me, so I am very happy for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Dinakar. Thank you for sharing my session. Really, I am very happy. And my special thanks to Dr. Devoma, my one student. Because of her, I could be able to come here, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to interact with many Thank you.
Sustainable and inclusive development of society to meet their needs. You have amazing energy, sir, which we are getting inspired from you. It shows your passion for green chemistry. Now I will invite our principal here, Dr. G. Nirpa, along with the dignitaries, Professor M. Tirmalachari sir, and Dr. Vishwanath sir, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering from Mahendrahills University, to facilitate Professor T. Ashok sir.
Coordinating the session. I hope you all are enlightened by the talk of iconic figure in chemistry, Professor D. Ashok sir. A big round of applause to the are available at the registration desk. Immediately contact the registration desk.
Former professor, head Department of Chemistry, JNTU and JNTU Chegitya. Sir was a former chairman, College Review Committee, Board of Studies in Chemistry. Sir was a member of Telangana State Pollution Control Board, Government of Telangana. Sir was also a fellow of Telangana Academy of Sciences. Sir has 35 years of teaching experience, 134 research publications, and attended 35 conferences and workshops. Under his research guidance, 17 scholars have been awarded doctorates, and currently 4 students are working under him. Sir was a member of professional bodies like member of International Society of Petrocyclic Chemistry, member of Indian Society for Technical Education, member of Indian Council of Chemists, member of Indian Institute for Chemistry Teachers, member of Press Council of India. Sir has visited various nations to present papers held at Canada, Sri Lanka, Philippines on advanced areas in chemistry. Sir also authored a textbook of engineering published by Pearson International Publication. Now, I would like to invite Professor M. Tirmalachari sir to deliver his lecture, and also request Professor D. Ashok sir to chair the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank the organizers of this seminar, in particular, Madam Durga, for invited me to give a talk. I have chosen a topic which is a burning topic. Learn or know about the corrosion. This is the question of the hour. What is the significance, what is its importance, and why it is so much there in the governments and among people? As Professor Ashok has rightly pointed out in the morning lecture, and has shown the Union Carbide Company, from which the methyl isocyanate gas is released and killed so many people. He said, Professor Ashok said, who is the terrorist? And he has concluded that methyl isocyanate is the terrorist, according to him. But according to me, methyl isocyanate is not terrorist. But who is the terrorist? The person who has to look after the safety of the tank in which the methyl isocyanate is stored, and who has neglected about the safety of that, is a terrorist. And because of the negligence of the personnel who is appointed to look after the safety of the tank, the methyl isocyanate gas is released, and which has killed thousands of people on the same day and consequent years, and still the progeny who are giving birth with deformities in their organs, legs, and their brain, etc. And this was seen everywhere in those years to show how many people were killed and how much compensation they required, and about the dharnas, etc. were held in the Bhopal, in and around Bhopal. Next please. And this is a photograph showing a train accident in which the derailment of bogies had taken place in the year 1981 between the Sahasra and the Nansi and the Sahasra railway station, which has killed more than 200 people. Again, whose fault is this? Who is the terrorist? Who has killed about 200 people? Next please. This photograph is showing the accident, gas accident, which has taken place in Florida, USA, in which no human being was killed or dead, but many animals, birds, which are there in the adjacent forest area around areas. And again, who is the culprit? Next please. This photograph is showing in which the helicar is a tank which is carrying the fuel, oil, and it was sunk in the course of Brittany in the Atlantic Ocean on December 8, 1999. And what is the problem? Nobody has, no casualty has happened here, but the spilled oil has spread on the ocean area, which has killed many of the aquatic animals. Next slide, please. Turtles, fishes, starfishes, and many seabirds who could not fly because of the oil stick onto their wings. And again, who is the culprit? Who is the terrorist? Which has killed so many aquatic animals. That is, the person who should look after the safety of either vessel or tank, anything, and to protect these vessels from corrosion is the culprit and who is the terrorist.
Pardon this?
Next, please. Even the orthopedic implants, the plates or wires or screws, etc., will fit into our body. Those are called orthopedic implants. Sometimes environmental failure is due to the reaction of physiological environment with the metal. The implants are made of metals, and if they are exposed to different biological fluids, and they will get corroded because of the pH, and hence the damage of the metals inside our body, if they are damaged or corroded, this will be leading to another health issue. Next, please. This is because of the oxide layer getting damaged. Why I have shown all these introductory slides to show the significance of the importance of the corrosion. The corrosion seems to be a simple issue, but the consequences of this issue is very dangerous, including you have seen the Bhopal issue. In the Bhopal gas, the main reason for the leakage of the methylacylate from the covalent carbide is there is a small, weak, corroded part on the lid of the tank, and as the methylacylate was there in the liquid state with high pressure, then with the high pressure, the damaged weakened part is still damaged, and a small hole was there, and the gas has gushed out, so that its damage is increased, and the release of the gas has taken place. So all these incidents happen because of the corrosion. So only I say that this is very, very important for the engineers, scientists, and citizens of future India. Next, please. It is calculated that about 5% of GNP, it was around 5 or 6 years ago, this slide is made, 700,000 crores of rupees of amount is lost because of the corrosion. Either direct losses or indirect losses. Direct losses is the material cost, the metal may be lost, and maintenance cost, etc. And indirect losses are the plant will shut down, and loss of production, contamination of the products, etc. will be happened. And the main consequence or indirect loss with the corrosion is the human life. If any metal is lost, we can re-extract, we redesign the equipment or machines, but human life is lost, we cannot get it back. So this is so valuable, and I feel that with corrosion, no human life should be endangered. Next, please. This is a slide showing the impact of corrosion on the metals. So you see pipelines or tanks were little damaged. Next, please. This is same thing. Next. Now, what is corrosion? We call it as a corrosion. And this corrosion is of the best example for this is the rusting of iron. This is of many types. Next slide, please. We get the metals. How we get the metals? Metals are extracted from ores. Ore is taken out from the soil layers, and this is the form of metal compounds. That means that always metal will be stable in the combined state. and we are giving energy to the metal compounds like metal carbonates or sulfides, etc. But we give the energy in the form of metallurgical process, and we extract the metals. I mean that the metals are in the excited state as the energy, as we have given energy. The metals are in the excited state always. Always, any excited state would like to lose this energy and go back to the stable state. And hence, metals are prone to go into the combined state. That is, if any chemical is available, it tries to combine and form the compounds. So only the metals will undergo corrosion very easily. And the metallurgy, the corrosion is opposite to that of the metallurgical process. Metal ore from ores, from compounds, we extract the metal by giving the energy, and the metals go back to the combined state by corrosion. So the corrosion and metallurgy are opposite to each other. Next. The corrosion is of two types mainly. It is a dry corrosion, or called it chemical corrosion, and wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion. Next. The dry corrosion is, or chemical corrosion is, when a metal is exposed to the chemical environment, or else with oxygen in the air, they undergo oxidation or the reaction with the chemicals and forms the corrosion product over the surface of the metallic substances or machines. Then, as the compounds are weaker or powdery than that of the metals, they get washed out, and hence fresh metal surface is exposed out. So, if at all the corrosion is happening by direct action of the chemicals or with the oxygen, then this is called as a direct dry corrosion or the oxidation corrosion, chemical corrosion. And this chemical corrosion is of three types. Oxidation corrosion, if the corrosion is happening with oxygen taken from the air and it gets corroded, because metal undergoes oxidation by taking the oxygen, and oxides are very weaker than that of the metals, and hence they get damaged. That is called oxidation corrosion. Then if the corrosion is taking place by the reaction with any chemicals that are available in the industrial areas, the more concentration of the chlorides, sulfur dioxide, or H2S, etc. will be there, and they will get reacted, their compounds will be formed and get corroded. That is called as the corrosion by the other gases. And liquid metal corrosion is if at all any moving liquid is in contact with the metal surface in particular machines, then they will get damaged, and that is called as liquid metal corrosion. Okay. Next. Oxide film will be formed over. Oxide film formed on the metal. The intention of further corrosion will be there, and hence is also a protective layer. Second one is unstable layer. Means if the metal oxide is formed, immediately it will be decomposed to metal and oxygen. So there is no loss of metal. In the case of silver, gold, and platinum, they are neutral, they are noble, and they will not undergo any reaction with oxygen. But if at all in any condition they undergo, immediately the oxide undergoes decomposition to form the metal, and hence there is no loss of gold or platinum or silver by this corrosion, and hence they are very valuable. In the case of molybdenum oxide, MoM3, that is highly volatile. Metal oxide is highly volatile in nature. Suppose if I keep a 1 kg lump of molybdenum here, on the surface the molybdenum oxide will be formed, and as it's highly volatile in nature, it will be extruded to the air. And after few hours, if you see that air will not be there, the fresh surface is exposed and it also undergoes oxidation. oxide film is formed. So it goes on evaporating, and if you come and see after 3 days, there will not be any molybdenum lump. So that is the highest rate of oxidation or highest rate of corrosion will be there in the case of the metals which are forming the volatile oxides. And porous layer means the oxide layer is porous, is spongy in nature, and it has pores. Through the pores, the oxygen enters in, and the further damage of the core metal inside will be corroded. So this is more dangerous. Externally, it don't appear that corrosion is going on, but inside the corrosion is continuously happening. This is what exactly shown in the form of a picture. Metal oxide, and it is shown in the yellow color is the metal oxide. If it is unstable, it undergoes decomposition and then goes back into the metallic state, so that nothing is happened. In the case of gold, silver, and platinum. Next. This is the case of molybdenum. See, yellow is the oxide film formed on the metal and is volatile, and that metallic part is lost, and the surface is exposed. And again, this will be continued. Next, please. This is a rule called as peeling bedwork rule, by which we can assess whether this oxide film formed on the surface is protecting the metal or damaging the metal. That is worked by peeling and bedwork. It says that the volume of the metal oxide formed is greater than the volume of the metal. It is acting as non-porous. It do not allow the oxygen to enter in, and no further damage is occurred. But if at all the volume of the metal oxide formed, corrosion product, metal oxide is formed, is less than the volume of metal, that is acting as a porous, so that if the oxygen enters in, and damage will be more, or corrosion will be more. Next, please. Next. The second type of corrosion happening is the electrochemical corrosion. This means when electrochemical cell is formed, there is a galvanic cell is formed. What is a galvanic cell? Which consisting of anode, cathode, and one electrolyte. Anode, cathode, electrolyte. If these three are there, they form the electrochemical cell. And which electrode is undergoing oxidation? Always the anode. Anode undergoes oxidation. So if anodic area, cathodic area is there, always anode get damaged, oxidized, or I would say corroded. So if at all in a system, if electrochemical cell is formed and corrosion is occurring on the anode, that is called as electrochemical corrosion. The best example is, in our homes we have doors, and doors are fixed to the frame, wooden frame with a hinge, and hinge is made up of iron. Suppose if we fix the hinges to the frame with a nail made up of iron but coated with zinc, or coated with copper. If any two dissimilar metals are in contact, they form the anode and cathode. And if humidity is there, suppose it is raining outside, humidity will be there inside the room, in the home, and they will be acting as an anode. And now the electrochemical cell is formed at the hinge, because anode and cathode are different metals, and electrolyte is there. So now the corrosion starts. Then which will get damaged? Suppose zinc and iron is there. Zinc is anodic and iron is cathode. So zinc screws get corroded, and if they are corroded, they will be loosened and it will be if the screw is loosened from the hinge, the door may be collapsed. Okay, this is the best example that we are looking at in our home. Next, please. And this electrochemical corrosion, in which electrochemical cell is formed, is of two types. And the first one is with the evolution of hydrogen, and second is absorption of the oxygen. These are two mechanisms. This will be occurring. Next, please. So I not go into the details of the mechanisms because the time is cut to from 45 to 30 minutes, and I know that the post-lunch session is very drowsy and people might be sleepy. I can observe from our moving here and there in their heads. Next, please. Next, go ahead. Further. Okay, next. This is the best example for galvanic corrosion. I have taken the galvanic corrosion for the electrochemical corrosion, and they do two dissimilar metals. Say the cathode is copper, anode is aluminum. If these two are in contact, the anodic part, two dissimilar metals are in contact. So anodic part get damaged, and the corrosion has entered into the core aluminum, and the white part is shown. That is the corroded damaged part. Next, please. Here, to show the intensity of this galvanic corrosion, here the pipeline is a copper pipeline, and galvanized pipe is attached to it. Galvanized pipe means a iron pipe is coated with zinc. Now, the zinc and copper are in contact. Obviously, the zinc will be acting as anode, and this is acting as a cathode. Galvanic cell is formed, and the damage, the corrosion has started, and it is entered into the core body of the metal. So this is the damage of the pipelines by the electrochemical corrosion. Next. This is interesting. This is the statue of Liberty in New York. The body of the statue is made up of iron, and the skin is made up of copper. And between these two, shellac is the insulating material to avoid the contact between the body and the skin. Because if they are in contact, electrochemical cell may be formed, because this is kept in C, and it has sodium chloride inside and acting as electrolyte. So recently it is observed that there are some parts undergone corrosion because of the damage of the layer, shellac layer between the copper and the metal body of the statue. So to avoid that one, the shellac is replaced by PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene, to protect the monument. So this process is going on now. Next, please. Another type of corrosion is differential aeration corrosion. If a metal is exposed to different concentration of the air, then on that same metal part, anodic area and cathodic area will be formed. Suppose if I keep the diagram to see the figure, if a metallic rod is placed in the water, a part is exposed out and a part is inside the water. The part inside the water is more exposed to the air or oxygen, and the metal outside is exposed to the more amount of oxygen. So the part which is exposed to the less amount of oxygen or air is acting as anode, more exposed to the is acting as the cathode. So anodic area and cathodic area are formed, and the corrosion starts at the anode. So the part which is inside the body, inside the water, will get corroded and damaged. This is called as differential aeration corrosion. Next, please. This is again the differential aeration corrosion, because of when it's moving, some mud may be deposited on the rims. And under the mud and beside the mud. Under the mud it is less exposed to the air, and beside this is more exposed. So the anodic area, cathodic area are formed, and corrosion starts and it is spread to the car parts. So the damage of the rim of the cars or any body parts of the car, any vehicles, is because of the formation of electrochemical cell due to different air concentrations. This figure is to show the same intensity of the corrosion or different radiation corrosion. Next please. Next. Yeah. This is a pillar which is supporting a bridge. This is made up of iron. And this pillar is inside the water. And the part which is inside, submerged under the water, is less exposed. And the pillar part which is above the surface is more exposed, so that the part inside the water is acting as anode, above is acting as a cathode. So anodic cathodic area form and damage or corrosion happens here. Next. Okay. Go ahead. What are the various factors affecting the corrosion? So this is the position in the galvanic series and purity of the metal. The second is important, purity of the metal. If I take pure metal in the powder form or any form, it is prone to very least corrosion. But if you take 99.9% of copper, the rate of corrosion is very less, about 1%. And if you add 0.001 gram of any other substance, 0.001 of any substance to it, then the rate of corrosion is increased by 5 times. Why is so? Because this is a contact of dissimilar metals, and dissimilar metals make the electrochemical cell, and then lead to the corrosion. So the rate of corrosion is very high if a small quantity of impurity is there in the metal. And this corrosion is more if it is in the powder form, and if it is in the lump form, the corrosion rate is slow because it is a surface phenomenon. The surface area of our powder is very high, and hence the rate of corrosion is high. Next, go ahead. Next. How to protect the metals from corrosion? And this can be done by different procedures. One called metal cladding, hard dipping, cementation, and metal spraying. Next. I would like to explain about the galvanizing. Galvanizing is coating of iron with zinc is called galvanizing, and to protect the iron or machine parts, any parts from corrosion, we apply the zinc coating. This is called galvanizing. Do you have internet for it? Internet is this. Outside is exposed to the more amount of oxygen. So the part which is exposed to the less amount of oxygen or air is acting as anode, more exposed to the is acting as the cathode. So anodic area and cathodic area are formed, and the corrosion starts at the anode. So the part which is inside the body, inside the water, will get corroded and damaged. This is called as differential aeration corrosion. Next please. This is again the differential aeration corrosion, because of when it is moving, some mud may be deposited on the rims. And under the mud and beside the mud. Under the mud it is less exposed to the air, and beside this is more exposed. So the anodic area, cathodic area are formed, and corrosion starts and it is spread to the car parts. So the damage of the rim of the cars or any body parts of the car, any vehicles, is because of the formation of electrochemical cell due to different air concentrations. This figure is to show the same intensity of the corrosion or different radiation corrosion. Next please. Next. Yeah. This is a pillar which is supporting a bridge. This is made up of iron. And this pillar is inside the water. And the part which is inside, submerged under the water, is less exposed. And the pillar part which is above the surface is more exposed, so that the part inside the water is acting as anode, above is acting as a cathode. So anodic cathodic area form and damage corrosion happens here. Next. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. What are the various factors affecting the corrosion? So this is the position in the galvanic series and purity of the metal. The second is important, purity of the metal. If I take pure metal in the powder form or any form, it is prone to very least corrosion. But if you take 99.9% of copper, the rate of corrosion is very less, about 1%. And if you add 0.001 gram of any other substance, 0.001 of any substance to it, then the rate of corrosion is increased by 5 times. Why it is so? Because this is a contact of dissimilar metals, and dissimilar metals make the electrochemical cell and then lead to the corrosion. So the rate of corrosion is very high if a small quantity of impurity is there in the metal. And this corrosion is more if it is in the powder form, and if it is in the lump form, the corrosion rate is slow because it is a surface phenomenon. The surface area of our powder is very high, and hence the rate of corrosion is high. Next, go ahead. Next. 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 How to protect the metals from corrosion? And this can be done by different procedures. One called metal cladding, hard dipping, cementation, and metal spraying. Next. Next. I would like to explain about the galvanizing. Galvanizing is coating of iron with zinc is called galvanizing, and to protect the iron or machine parts, any parts from corrosion, we apply the zinc coating. This is called galvanizing. Do you have internet for it? Internet is this? In which of the iron they are cleaned first. Zinc will be sticked onto the surface of the metal and it will come out, so that this is an industrial process. If I tell it is a simple thing, but it is a wonderful process. I could not show it to you on video, by which we can galvanize the sheets. Next please. Another way by which we can protect the metals from corrosion is tinning. Application of tin over the surface of the iron sheets. That's called tinning. Next please. Next. Tower, transmission tower. I think you would have seen the Mulquay tower. And there is a pipeline from state to state or countries to countries for the transportation of oils, natural gas, etc. and there are big tanks in which we store the chemicals or oils, and this is a cruise ship whose body is made up of metal, and then the transmission towers for the transmission of electricity. These are very huge structures made up of iron, and if any balance is lost to the Malakpet tower, it will collapse and it causes huge damage to the vehicles and the human beings. But how to protect them? Suppose a person is appointed near the tower to protect as a watchman. He wants to dry his wet clothes, wash clothes. For them, what he did, he has tied a copper wire to the tower and another end to a wooden pole. The purpose is to dry his clothes. And what happened here? Iron is tied with copper so that disintegrators are in contact and corrosion started. If any a centimeter of the part at the base is corroded or damaged, the balance of the huge tower is lost. So that slowly it may collapse at any time. Similarly, the small thing, corrosion, small negligence about this one may damage the costliest materials. Okay? And to protect this, to protect the huge structures, the best method is called as cathodic protection. Cathodic protection. That means we convert the huge structure which is to be acted, which is to be safeguarded, to act as a cathode. Suppose it may be anode, and we can convert this huge structure to act as a cathode. And if it is converted as a cathode, nothing happens to it. This is called as cathodic protection. Next, please. Next. This is a pipeline passing from Iran to India to Afghanistan, Pakistan, with different soils and different minerals there, and those minerals may act as a cathode and this may act as anode. And we have to protect them. For that, we connect the pipelines with the help of a wire to a material which is anodic to it. So if at all the corrosion happens, the anodic part will get damaged, and when anodic materials are connected to it, the main structure to be protected will act as a cathode. So we are forcing the huge structures to act as a cathode forcefully so that they are protected. And if at all the corrosion happens, which will be damaged, the anode will get damaged. They can be replaced. So along the railway track, the gangmen are appointed, and the railway track is connected to an anodic metal in different locations, and the gangmen will look after whether this is emptied or not. If it is exhausted, anode is exhausted, he will be replacing it as another metal refills are there. The refill will be replaced. So that always the railway track will be acting as a cathode, and hence it is safeguarded. Next please. So this left side which is the railway track, and we connect it to anode metal, and there is the iron pillar, the red one, iron pillar, and to avoid we are connecting the flaps. The white color you see, those are called flaps, anodic flaps. Magnesium flaps will be there, and those flaps will be acting as anode, and pillar will be acting as a cathode, and hence they are protected. Next please. This is another technique. We are forcing the huge structure to be protected to act as a cathode by connecting to a battery. The battery is adjusted in such a way that the huge structure to be protected as a cathode, so that it is safeguarded. So this is what as impulsive current or opposite current cathode potential. Next please. Yeah, the electroplating, there is no limit. Yes, next please. How exactly we plate the inferior metal with the superior metal? Next please. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Although the mankind made remarkable progress in the last century, there have been cases stemming from the development and leading to loss of human lives. Corrosion in itself is not important, but the consequence of corrosion may be very serious. The investigation showed that the disasters were the results of the combination of legal, technological, organizational, and human errors. It has also been shown how much control and prevention of corrosion are important in order to prevent both financial losses and loss of human lives. So, the corrosion is very, very important. Just as a fun, the client is saying that you told me the car was rust-free, but the salesman, shop owner is saying that, well, we don't charge you extra for the rust. They didn't charge anything for it. Next please. Before organic examination and after the organic examination. Okay? Just a joke in chemistry here. Thank you so much for your kind
Thank you, participants. If you have any doubts, sir, ready to ask. Sir, ready to answer your questions. Especially this question.
What's upon the chemicals available there in this space? These are but not they are exposed to the chemicals. Concentration more different.
That way we will be having many doubts.
No, sir. How to measure the corrosion?
And take it out.
The audience, those are give very big round of applause to
Corrosion chemistry, first runs on many areas and drawn towards the prime objective. Now I would like to request Professor D. Ashok sir and Dr. G. Virupa, our principal non-futuristic, Professor M. Chimalachari sir.
Dr. Krishna.
Dr. Krishna sir.